So I didn't give up. I just keep on working, believing that God will show me the way to advance science, to help Kajol find a way to reduce her eye scarring, restoring her eyesight, but at the same time, doing such fetal research without hurting the fetus, him or herself. And through much praying, that eventually we realized that perhaps we can use the placenta, because maybe the reason we used to, all of us before birth, we can heal without scar is because we're surrounded by the amniotic membrane before birth. And at the time of birth, we lose the membrane protection, we come out of the placenta, and that's why we take on a new process called fibrosis or scarring. So I went to hospitals, got lots of bloody placentas from mothers after giving birth to children. They did not need a placenta anymore. So I got those placenta donated to me. I was a young researcher then. I brought them back to the laboratory, started doing research, and eventually developed the amniotic placenta contact lens. When we put this amniotic placenta contact lens onto injured eyes, miracle happened. The eye started behaving as if it were not born yet. And remember, all of us before birth, when we were surrounded before birth by the amniotic sac, we all used to regenerate. We all used to heal without scarring. And so eyesight was restored in many of those injured eyes.
Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Dr. Ming Wang's remarkable journey from darkness to light. I'm Marion MacKenzie, and these are the Upside Conversations. Last week, we followed a young boy who survived one of history's darkest regimes, the Chinese Cultural Revolution. Armed with only $50 and an English dictionary, Dr. Wang came to America, where determination, brilliance, and relentless perseverance opened the doors to Harvard Medical School and MIT. But that was only the beginning. Today, you'll discover how an unexpected journey of faith led Dr. Wang to one of the most groundbreaking medical breakthroughs of our time, an amniotic membrane contact lens that has restored sight to millions. You'll also meet the man behind the medicine, a humanitarian whose life mission has become restoring hope to blind orphans around the world and building bridges of understanding in an increasingly divided world. You won't want to miss the rest of this inspiring story. Please join me now in welcoming back Dr. Ming Wang to the Upside Conversations. It's my understanding that you studied the eye and the possibility of bringing sight to the blind for 16 years before you discovered that it was the amniotic membrane which was placed over the eye like a contact lens, right? Like a saran wrap, I've heard you say, that actually helps restore healing to the eye. 16 years of that journey. And yet today it has brought sight to, after 16 years, millions and millions of people are now benefiting from that technology that you discovered and that you have given to the world for free. You have a patent, but you've given it to the world for free. Could you describe a little bit about that journey where you discovered that those 16 years where you were studying and working to what you discovered from the embryo that heals beautifully, and then how after birth things change and with scarring. So that whole process is so beautifully articulated in your book.
Yes, I wanted to, after I got such a wonderful opportunity to get a PhD in laser physics and then a second doctorate degree at MD from Harvard MIT. So I was committed to a life of helping people see and a life as a laser eye surgeon ophthalmologist. And then I realized that there are injuries throughout the world, particularly involving those blind orphan children. The site is about the story of many of those blind orphan children, their journey from darkness to light.
There was an uprising in my hometown.
摇旗队伍来了，他们说要彻底毁掉大学。爸妈，你快躲起来！林旭，你跟我来。不要出来，跟我来找你。爸，我能帮忙。带着去。爸说他们有可能把学校关掉，
打倒赵老师。
你说我还怎么当医生呢？
I told Lily we would make it together.
我永远都会保护你。
你真的那么想？
当然。
Everything would be okay.
那2个小坏蛋在这。
别想砍爆我！
政府正在重新开放大学了。
让我们一起实现这个梦想。
These are our top students.
林夕要去美国了。
It's hard getting into medical school here in the States, but you coming from China, don't waste your time.
I'm with you, Ming.
If I can help people out of the dark, maybe I can help Lily, wherever she is.
I believe you're gonna get there. You may need to just let go.
Here we go.
I can see you.
And I want to help them. And the people say, why you are so committed to, the Psi Foundation to help these blind orphan children? My answer is very simple. When I see those kids in darkness, I can relate to them because I used to be in darkness myself during Cultural Revolution in China when I saw no future in my own life. So today, when I see those kids, I want to help them come out of darkness into light because I can feel their pain living in darkness today. So I started doing research in the film site. You saw that we brought this 5-year-old blind Indian orphan, Kajal, to America, and we want to help her. And there was no treatment because the scarred eye due to injury and trauma has no treatment. It's one of the leading causes of blindness worldwide. And I realized that an unborn child can heal without scar. But then how can I do research on an unborn child, a fetus, without hurting the baby? There's an example of this polarization and division today between faith, Christian faith, and science. Do you do research on stem cell, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, or you don't do research? If you don't do research, you cannot progress medicine, improving the quality of life, restoring eyesight in those blind people. But if you do research, especially on fetus, how can you justify hurting a baby for the sake of scientific research? So I was stuck, and it seems there's no common ground between faith and science. But fortunately, I was a Christian already then. I believe that God will point us to the way. And then I got my patents, and I asked myself an interesting question. I said, did I really invent the amniotic membrane contact lens? And I concluded, no, because I did not invent the placenta. I did not invent the amniotic membrane. God did. As a scientist and as a Christian, I was privileged to be given by God a precious little opportunity to catch a little glimpse of part of His original creation. So glory belongs to God. So what I decided to do, the many friends said, I was not smart, but I decided that's what I want to do. I donate my patent to the world and even ran around the world to 50-some countries, free of charge, taught over 10,000 eye doctors how to use the new technology, amniotic placenta contact lens. Today, as shown in the film site, amniotic membrane contact lens now has been used by over tens of thousands of eye doctors throughout the world, and several millions of patients have been helped. And it's a $5 billion a year industry now. That even though I did not make any money myself because I donated my patent in the beginning, but I'm happy that, number one, as an immigrant, I did what I can to help to pay back the freedom I got from America and showing my appreciation as an immigrant. But also, as a Christian, I realized that I did the right thing. Leave the credit to who their credit belongs.
Dr. Wang, you are nothing more than an inspiration to the entire world. And there were, I'm sure, millions of people around the world who are grateful. Those of us who have always been able to see, we take it for granted. But those who have not been able to see and suddenly can see it must be the most extraordinary thing in the world. Your book has been turned into a beautiful film that I've seen twice. I enjoyed it so much. It's beautifully made. It tells your story so well. It's called Sight, and Angel Studios has produced it and distributed it. And it's now in all over the world, you said, even in China, telling your story, even in China. This is a celebration. This is absolutely marvelous. How many countries is this movie showing in?
And the movie Sight, Angel Studios, is in over 30 countries now, and in dozens of airlines. And also, it was initially banned in China when the movie came out. The movie was released by Angel Studio in 2024 in 2,100 theaters across America. And then we have a China Bible project. We bring the Bible to China. And so I've been traveling to China since 2024 after film Sight was released but was banned in China because the Christian faith part of it and the Cultural Revolution. And so I start bringing those DVDs back into China, showing to friends and give Bible studies after showing the film. And I persisted the effort and praying God will open the door, because it is big thing if the film Sight could get into China to 1.4 billion people, to give them a chance to hear the truth, to know about Jesus Christ. And so through much praying, through my persistent effort, keep on bringing the film, showing people, as people start knowing about the film Sight in China in the past 2 years. Lo and behold, just recently, a few weeks ago, film Sight was allowed to be in China.
Just absolutely miraculously wonderful. And again, due to your persistence and prayer, I'm sure that it finally broke through. The name of your book, I want to make sure we mention, is From Darkness to Sight, A Journey from Hardship to Healing. That's a beautiful title and so apt. So, and the film is beautiful, and we will make sure that everybody will have this in the show notes and everywhere, so that people who haven't seen it have an opportunity to see it and share it, because it is so incredibly powerful.
I really appreciate people share the free link, sight.mingwang.com, because if more people watch this film Sight via this free link, more be aware of our foundation's work in helping blind orphan children from around the world. So therefore, more of these kids could be helped. So I really like to appreciate you, Marion, for your show, and also all the audience sharing among friends the free Sight movie link as such.
I'm going to help you see again.
You said it was impossible.
Ah, there he is, the good doctor.
You're going to be on the cover of the Tennessee Herald tomorrow morning. You may get a date out of this.
Not with that picture.
Very funny.
Our pro bono office got a call from India. A little girl, 6 years old.
Apparently, street beggars make more money if they're legitimately blind. So the stepmother poured sulfuric acid in each of her eyes.
I'm going to help you see again, Kajan.
Is it true that multiple doctors declared your patient irreversibly blind?
Yes, I developed this new breakthrough technology. Here we go. Do you see the light?
No. I can't see anything.
I have this patient from India. She reminds me of some things in the past that I can't get over.
The present is made possible by the past.
A long time ago back in China, there was an uprising in my hometown. Many bad things happened.
So we came to America.
Yes.
It's hard getting into medical school, but you coming from China, don't waste your time.
You cannot change the past, Ming. I feel like I'm stuck.
Hello, doctor. This is Maria.
We want to give her a chance to see again.
I don't even know if I can perform surgery anymore. I left you.
Stop it. You need to just let go.
I just don't want Maria to end up like Kajan.
Can only do our best. I'm with you, Ming. We can do this.
I refuse to believe there is no purpose.
I will be praying for you.
job is teaching me that there's more to life than what you see. We have to keep going.
Thought you said it was impossible.
Can you see yourself, Maria?
I'm so pretty.
Let's just draw further attention to that, your foundation, because you have created a foundation that helps the least of these, which is blind orphans around the world and underprivileged countries, if you will. Would you like to talk a little bit more about that? That is an inspiration.
Yes. I have realized that God has given me a task, a chore. As a scientist and as a Christian, He wants me to do two things. One is to bridge the gap between faith and science, to bring scientists and Christians together to help those scientists realize that, yes, we need to continue to pursue research. However, we need to, more than ever, need the guidance based on Christian faith. Because when the AI and ChatGPT and all these new technologies that can do wonderful things, but also can be disastrous. So we need more than ever the guidance from faith and regarding the purpose of the scientific advancement. And so that's number one purpose God wants me to do, to bridge science and faith, to find that common ground. God wants science and faith to work together. God created everything, including science. So He wanted to work together so that we can improve the quality of our lives through medical research. The second thing I realized God wants me to do is to do what I can. The trainings I've received, all these degrees and everything, to help those who need the most help in vision. And those are the blind orphan children. And so that's why I dedicate myself to helping those blind orphan children build a sight foundation, donate my patent, the amniotic contact lenses, because I realized that that God wants me to use the science to help those who need the most help. And I always tell students that you may not be an eye doctor, you could be an engineer, you could be a business person, you could be a real estate person, you could be a CPA, but whatever it is that you do, God will have a God-inspired purpose for you to do beyond what you normally do, to glorify Him and to utilize the talent that God has given us for His purpose.
That's beautiful. And you've done that so beautifully. So it is just extraordinary. You are doing something in your church, which I think is worth mentioning, which is you are building bridges. You believe that in not just bringing physical sight, but as you've mentioned more than once in our chat here, that you want to build bridges and you believe that you're an ambassador between the East and the West, if you will, between cultures. And you were hoping that you're saying human beings have so much more in common than they have in differences, but it is political systems that are seeking power and control, that are seeking to divide and conquer, if you will. But your life is dedicated to bringing fresh perspective, a different kind of vision, which is to find commonality in our shared humanity, because we have so much we can do and to accomplish together. So tell us about STEPS. This project that you are doing at your church, please.
Yes. With my pastor, Dr. Rice Brooks, we have been studying how divided, how polarized our nation is, and how important for all of us as Christians to go back to the Bible, to study, and to examine what Christ has did in a few decades of life on this planet. And during the pandemic, we met 95% of those Saturdays in a row, 3 years. And we studied the Bible and we realized that God actually is the ultimate common ground seeker. We established the common ground seeking steps as TPS through the study of Bible, realized that to find the common ground is S to see. You got to be able to see. When you meet someone who is different opinions, different viewpoints, if you are not willing to see there's a common ground, you will never find it. So S, C. STPS, T, trading places. Because that I really learned that as an eye doctor, at the end of the day, if I want to help you, Marion, your eye, I have to see through your eyes, the rest of the world, because you're the number one expert about the problems of your eyes, because you're the only person who is seeing through the pair of eyes of yours. So if I want to treat you, take care of your eye problem, I have to trade places with you to see the world from your perspective, through your eyes. So trading places. And E, empathy. When we meet someone different, what do we tend to do as Americans today? We tend to, sometimes yelling and shouting, demonizing the other side. But instead of doing that, can we do what Christ wants us to do? Dr. Weiss books talk about the SALT principle, SALT. S, start a conversation. A, ask a question. L, listen. And then and only then, T, talk. And P is pay the price. If the right thing to do, there's a price to pay to find that common ground, overcoming polarization. And final S is seek, to find, actually do it, putting the action to find the common ground. And who inspired us to formulate this common ground seeking steps is none other than Jesus Christ himself. S, he saw the common ground with us as human beings. T, trading places. He traded places by becoming one of us. That's the ultimate trading places, to feel our pain, to suffer what we suffer. E, empathy. He demonstrated empathy even to the people in the lowest rung of society. In the Bible, woman by the well, nobody wants to talk to her. Christ did. P, paid the price. He paid the ultimate price by dying for our sin at the cross. And final S, action, seek common ground. He actually did it. He did it. He inspired his disciple to do it, to seek common ground with human beings. So to be a Christian, we realize that we need to emulate what Christ did. And that we need to be a common ground seeker. We need to demonstrate that we can love another person despite the difference. We can still work together with despite the difference. And so not only Bible taught us that it's a Christ mandate for all of us as Christians to be a common ground seeker in the unprecedented, divided, and polarized nation. But also, Bible taught us how to find that common ground through the STPS. Common ground is not a compromise. It's not that like when I meet an atheist, I become half atheist, take an average or something. No, common ground is the relationship. It's the first step. When we meet someone who does not believe in Christ, how can we find out where he or she is? Starting from that point, by building a relationship, by building a bridge, with the hope through that common ground finding to eventually bring that person to Christ.
Absolutely beautiful. Dr. Wang, you are a beautiful example of a man of faith. You are an ambassador for the kingdom. You're an ambassador for the bridge between science and faith. And you're an ambassador for the medical community as well, and what you have done to restore sight to the blind and also bring hope to the blind orphans in all these countries in which you collaborate and you participate so magnificently. You are an inspiration. We could talk, I know, for hours more about your life. You also have a second book, because the things that you have achieved have only been possible because of extreme discipline, perseverance, focus. And so you have got another book all about the 7 pearls of how to achieve things faster, more efficiently. Yes. Would you tell us about that book? Hello, friends. If you're enjoying this conversation, would you take just a moment to subscribe and leave us a comment? It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in helping our channel grow, so we can continue bringing you more interviews that inform, inspire, and light up the world. Thank you. Now, let's get back to our conversation.
Put a little book together called 石板公杯. It's combining East and West cultural pearls to help all of us how to do things more efficiently by merging, bringing out the best across different cultures, and so that we all can learn from each other. And that's my little booklet, 石板公杯, about how to accomplish things more efficiently by combining the pearls of culture from East and the West. And regarding what I want to say, that I feel, first of all, really appreciate our discussion today. And I think probably one thing, that we are living in an unprecedented, divided and polarized world. We are increasingly fixated on differences rather than appreciating what we all have in common as fellow Americans, as Christians. We're increasingly unable to work across political aisles, racial divides, and ethnic divisions to really address the problem we truly urgently need to address: gun violence, opioid crisis, environmental disaster, poverty, racial tension, education, healthcare, and jobs. And we can begin to address these critically important questions for America only when we're more able to and more willing to work together across racial barriers, across political differences. Realize that what makes America great, what make America be such a beacon of hope, attracting people from all over the world, such as myself, is because the ideal, our founding nation, our country was founded on two cornerstones: the Bible, a Christian nation, and the Constitution, the sense of law, the rules that we need to go by when people are come from all of different world, different culture, and try to live together peacefully. So we need to be reminded what made America great is the Bible, is the Constitution, is ultimately our ability to recognize this God's experiment to show that human beings can indeed work together. Human beings can emulate Him, Christ, to be a common ground seeker, to work together despite the difference, ultimately to recognize that we need to work together based on our love for Christ and our shared humanity.
So beautifully articulated. I cannot think of a more apt way to wrap up our conversation and to leave this wisdom lingering in the air. We hope that this interview will go far and wide. This is the kind of conversation, the kind of perspective, the kind of way in which we would hope people could see the world with a new lens, if you will, a new way of seeing the world, which will bring us all together to be able to collaborate and build a better world the way Christ would have us build it. You are a treasure in the kingdom. You are a blessing to us. Thank you for being with us. Your time has been most deeply appreciated by us and everyone who will see this interview. Thank you, Dr. Wang.
Thank you, Mary. God bless.
God bless. Welcome back. Dr. Wang's life reminds us that our greatest obstacles don't have to define our future. Through courage, perseverance, faith, and a willingness to serve others, one's life can truly change millions. His journey from the darkness of China's Cultural Revolution to restoring sight, hope, and dignity around the world is a powerful reminder that God can redeem even our deepest trials and use them for extraordinary good. As a special gift to our Upside audience, Dr. Wang has made available a complimentary screening of the acclaimed Angel Studios film, Sight. Simply click the link in the show notes below to experience his remarkable story brought to life. If this conversation encouraged you, please subscribe to our channel, share it with your family and friends, and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear what inspired you the most. Thank you for being with us today. I'm Marion MacKenzie. Join us again next week for more uplifting stories. And remember, wherever you are in your journey, with God, there is always an upside. See you soon.